Yes, I'm absolutely watching Fallout and I'm loving it. I've been a huge fanboy of Fallout since 2008 when Fallout 3 came out. I've played every game since. I still play Fallout 76. I'm also a huge fan of Westworld, of Jonathan Nolan and Lisa Joy's adaptation, of existing IP. And I think they're doing the same thing here where they're taking an existing IP and not only paying homage to the IP itself, but using it as a brilliant metaphor, for life. And so, I saw Westworld as an exploration of human consciousness, of AI, of surveillance capitalism, but also as a tale of radicalization. Dolores is essentially radicalized and becomes a revolutionary leader within the context of that story. And I can kind of see the same thing happening with Lucy in Fallout. I mean, the title refers not only to the nuclear fallout, but to the fallout of humanity and civilization once it collapses. And much like Westworld explored surveillance capitalism, I see them exploring, let's call it disaster capitalism or apocalyptic capitalism, where the profit motive in the destruction of the world led by corporate entities and the layers of power. I also see it exploring political identities, right, in the different factions. But I think ultimately for me, it's just wonderful to see this world being explored. The people at Bethesda and Todd Howard, the showrunner of the game, created such a rich world with so much lore hinted at during the games that you found during the environment, that you found through kind of scavenging through the wasteland, through hacking computer terminals and getting backstory. And I think, I'm not so sure it's like predictive programming so much as just taking this scenario and using it to explore, what it is to be human, and how we interact with these different layers of power. I think the ending of the last episode, for instance, we're going to be introduced to the Enclave, which is people that have been kind of alluded to in the show, but aren't really named or defined. And what they are, the remnants of the United States government, the deep state. And Clancy Brown, who is so wonderful in Carnival, showing up as the U.S. president, has a bit of an ominous tone to me. The Handmaid's Tale I read in college, and I think that was more of a predictive warning, more so than I think Fallout is. Although I do think Fallout is exploring the dangers of heavy corporatism, of the reality of what it truly means if you take it to its endpoint when you value profits over people. Right. And the way that the kind of show is weaving the backstory through the eyes of Walton Goggins' character, I think is brilliant. They're filling in so much lore. It's incredible. And the show is actually canon within the world of Fallout. So I'm a big